Google. Let's go get them again.
Welcome back to another episode of Samplin Samples. Today we are sampling from the brand of Rabanne, formerly known as Paco Rabanne, and this one is from their Phantom line. So it is a flanker of Phantom. We are going to see, of course, elixirs for, well, I think all their lines have it now, right? Right, Invictus got its elixir, and so did a million. So obviously Phantom needed its elixir. So honestly, at this time of shoot, anything modern from Rabanne isn't very good. It really isn't. I'm sorry, kids. And maybe some kids are going to be watching me and they'll be like, that's the old man talking. No, man. No. It's all the same. Like 1 million, all the personality of 1 million is gone. Like Quentin Bish is killing our designer fragrance game. A 1 million flanker smells like a Jean-Paul Gaultier flanker. They smell like Le Male elixir does not smell like Le Male. 1 million elixir does not smell like 1 million. It's the Invictus line that misses, and so does this line. It's the goofy bottle line now. As much as it's, you know, it really worked with 1 million with the goofy bottle, they really ran with it. They really did. They're like, okay, we're the goofy bottle brand. Terrible. I would love to see, and I know, you know, here's me, little me dreaming and being like, oh, I'm in my own little world. No, Mark, these things sell. Who cares what you think? Yeah. Well, you're subscribed to me, hopefully. If you are, then you care what I think at least a little bit. If I was the creative director of Paco Rabanne or Rabanne and their scent profiles, I'd like to see those sales. But I would love Rabanne to go back. Go back in time. Go to your roots. Try something with minimal to no sweetness. Just try. So I don't expect much here. I got a little sample here. And, you know, this might be the poorest release of 2025 on my channel. Like, we're early here. We're really early. All the brands are doing their Q1, right? Quarter one of every year, you see this influx, right? There's these fragrance reviewers, like they're brand new to the game here. They're like, oh my God, there's so many new releases. This has been going on for a long time. I'm surprised Calvin Klein hasn't done their CK1 summer yet. This is usually the Issey Miyake summers. All the summer editions come out around this time. Right in the cusp of winter. Perfect timing for their limited editions coming through. I haven't seen actually one summer edition. I might be wrong. Something to keep tabs here. So yeah, this has the possibility of being the worst fragrance that I'm going to smell in 2025. Now, my channel has kind of morphed here a little bit, you know, to my diehards. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I kind of want to, let's have some fun in 2025. Let's see how low these scores can go. I am going to try as many 2025 releases through samples. And no, I'm not a sample reviewer. Right? Yeah, no. Sorry, baby. Okay. No, I'm not a sample reviewer. And there is, but there's nothing wrong being a sample reviewer. If you know what you're right, I'm not going to call it a review. It's not. You know, my audience knows me. So let's get into this. But if you're new here, welcome to the Robezoe channel. I'm your host, Mark. Hit that subscribe, smash that like button. You've already heard what you want to hear. If you're here, you're probably wanting 2025 releases. I'll be your guy. I'll go through samples. Brands aren't sending me these. This is out of my own money. I think I spent like $8 on this, Canadian. So, right, American. So if we convert that, or no, not Canadian, that was American. If we convert that, that's probably $36 Canadian for a little sample. I'm just kidding. But that's fine. You know, I'll make that up in ad revenue on this video, which is fine. I come out even, which is perfectly fine, and it helps out a lot of people. Now, I'm not here to bash your favorite fragrance, unlike some people say. I'm just being honest. A guy with experience, I will tell you, I'm not a guy that has his nose up. I love designer fragrances. I got tons of them. There's tons of them out here that are 10 out of 10s for me personally. Yeah, maybe they're older releases. And I don't have an axe to grind. Like Paco Rabanne has some excellent fragrances. I gave 1 million, the original, back in 2009. The first review on YouTube on it. Go check it out. Me Without a Beard, don't go check it out. I give it a 10. 10 out of 10. I still think it's a fragrance release that is worthy of that because there's some classics out there. And that was a fragrance that Paco Rabanne as a brand was dying in the men's aisle. Dying. They weren't doing anything. And then that thing came out and boom. Now they're at the top, right? Hiring Quentin Bish to do his Donkafog. Now let's go under the hood. Let's take a look at Phantom and Elixir. Let's see how bad this can be. It was released in 2025. The nose is Anfipo, an amazing nose, like a outstanding all-star perfumier. And we also have Juliette Caragozulu. Also an all-star nose. Definitely Juliette does a lot of great designer releases as well. Now let's take a look at the note breakdown and let's see what we get. Now in the notes, they made it very simplistic for us. Up top, we got a marine note. In the mid, we got mineral note. You know how much I hate those nondescript notes. And they have oud. Okay. And that's the one thing, right? That's like, if you don't believe me, excuse me, hopefully you do now, that note breakdowns are a marketing piece. It does not mean it's the materials and all the materials in the fragrance. It's just there for fluff. And in the base, we got vanilla. The big notes to my nose are, I'm just going to give it the 2, vanilla and marine note. The other guys, yeah, there's a mineral aspect. I guess I could, but I'm putting that like tit for tat, right? Marine note and mineral note kind of go hand in hand, honestly. And oud is, you'd think this is a Fragrance du Bois fragrance review. Where's the oud? My niche heads will get that joke. So let's get into it. All right, now I'm wearing this as my scent of the day today. I'm wearing it now. The beautiful dry down is on me right now, but we're going to finish this little sample here on me. There's hardly anything left. Launching. Oh, I left the room. That's always my goal. Goes under the door, leaves the room. Ah. You know how fragrance reviewers go like this? Ah. Ah, so good. No. You got it this one time. Now you're going to screenshot it and kind of send it to all your friends. Look at Mark, he's having a... So Phantom Elixir starts us off very sweet. Sweet and marine-like. So it reminds me off the bat of something Invictus would do. From the same line, by the way. Invictus is a Rabanne release, if you didn't know. It smells like a flanker. Insert flanker name, Invictus, here. This isn't a far cry from what that line has done. I mean, it really isn't a big change, right? If you're gonna start lines, like different lines and flankers to those lines, you want a noticeable difference from each staple line, right? 1 Million has its DNA, Invictus has its DNA, and then Phantom has its DNA, apparently. This is going into, if you blindfolded me, I may have got this right. I would have said Paco Rabanne as a brand, I would have got that right, but I would have said Invictus. And that is one thing with designer releases that I'm trying to portray to all of you out there. And the funny thing is, like, I'm being honest, right? I'm just saying, okay, you blindfold me and I'm closing my eyes and I smell this. I already know it's a Phantom Elixir. But I'm smelling this and all I can think of is those goofy little trophies. It is smelling like an Invictus flanker. The vanilla is primary here, a big vanillic fog with a bit of freshness. It's not a sweet aquatic thing, which Invictus can be known for. It's more fresh, clean with a wallop of vanilla. Yeah. So, you know, this DNA has been out since the early 2010s, we'll say. And, right, it's nothing new. It reminds me of Le Male Elixir, not as aggressive with the sweetness. Meets like a bad boy Carolina Herrera to an Invictus, insert flanker name here. All of them in a little jug. They all smell alike. It's the Goofy Bottle Clan. And that's what it smells like. Sugary, but not overly dense. Like, I've smelled some pretty bad sugary fresh fragrances. I feel like the sugary fresh thing does not work. Apparently a lot of kids disagree with me as far as sales go, but vanilla is made up of 80% of this opening. And again, the vanilla is bad. It's not a good vanilla. Even for, you know, I'm not even comparing this to niche. I'm not comparing this to high-end vanilla designers. I'm comparing this to its, you know, its competition. Jean-Paul Gaultier, Paco Rabanne, Carolina Herrera. You know, these goofy bottle brands are its competition. Forget Zioff, forget Chanel, right? Forget Guerlain. This is way past them. This is below. The vanilla is not very good. So it's a fresh vanilla fog. Now going into the mid, I was waiting for this oud note, and I was waiting. I'm not wearing my watch today because it's charging, but I'd be doing this. Where's the oud? Never showed up. Nothing. Not even anything mistakenly oud. Nothing resembling it at all. So forget that note. It's there as a, I don't know, like a placebo of some sort, and makes you think that there's a rough and tumble something coming in. No. However, I am going to replace oud with the note of lavender. I was getting some lavender in here in this mid, which is not in the note breakdown, but it is in Mark's note breakdown. Let's throw it up, put it on the display right now. Mark, do it in the editing room. And so what it does in the mid with this lavender, it gives you that soapy, clean quality that lavender would do with vanilla, which is a reason why we're going to go back to Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, where it reminds me of Jean-Paul Gaultier a bit, because Le Male fame, cheap vanilla, lavender. There's a little mineral quality here, little salty, little watery tone, highly synthetic, almost kind of ozonic more than anything. Just light touches here and there to support the vanilla. That's it. This thing isn't complicated at all. You don't need Robes 08 to review this thing. You really don't. You know, I pride myself as a technical fragrance reviewer. Some think that's boring. They think, oh, he's just reading Fragrantica. He's just reading the notes to you. No, right? You know, you should tell those reviewers that say that about me and go, okay, buddy, look at this note breakdown. Can you tell me about the volumes? Can you tell me about the textures? Tell me the oud. Does it smell like oud to you? Have you smelt hundreds of ouds, right? Technical fragrance reviewer. There's more to it than just reading Fragrantica notes. I know. So overall, a big disappointment. And not that it was not like I was expecting something amazing here. This is bottom of the totem pole, right? The bottle tells you everything you need to know. However, I've seen goofy bottles with an excellent scent profile inside. So you always never judge a book by its cover, right? Never. Always look inside, filter through, see what happens. However, a big disappointment. And a big disappointment in the mineral aspect and the watery aspects. I didn't expect much from the oud, and it didn't give me anything. So the disappointment there was kind of nil, because I was like, yeah, oud, yeah, right, okay. No, it didn't give me anything at all. So that's like a big flat zero. However, the mineral and aquatic tone was kind of disappointing. It's in the kind of like the sea of many designers that do the same thing. They've been doing the same thing for at least a dozen years. And honestly, and looking, and again, just being a transparent fragrance reviewer, I'm not trying to sell like every fragrance reviewer. I'm sure you go check out fragrance reviews on this, on guys like probably Jensen's did it. A guy like that owns thousands of bottles like I do. You cannot say that this guy thinks, honestly, that this is a great fragrance that he should recommend to you. There is no way. You know, just be frank with people. I know I'm losing subscribers because of being honest. Yeah, people thumb down. Like, this video is gonna get thumbed down. Things like that, people kind of get angry. But honestly, it's in a sea of many designers that do the exact same thing, and honestly, there's not much here to grasp onto. It's vanilla. Elixir is just a name here, plain and simple. It's nothing new, and that Rabanne should have never released this. That is my honest thoughts. Now, to all the newbies out there, I'm not attacking you. We all start somewhere. Like I always say in fragrance reviews, especially negative ones, I started with Swiss Army. Then I went to CKB. And then I went to what was my journey? CKB, Boss Bottled, Lamal. So you see, the journey is a journey. So to the newbies, I don't blame you. I'm not getting angry at you, but I'm telling you truth here. Now, we all start somewhere. Now, to the ones that know better, right? I'm talking to the people that legit watch people like the Curlies and Jet Sense and all that are throwing things at you, and you have a collection that kind of resembles mine. Look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh, why am I buying another little robot again? It's for you. Maybe you're going to get an aha moment. Maybe you'll subscribe to me. You know, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to tell you spade's a spade here. And for a guy like me, I'm telling you, this is subpar. This is a money grab. Now let's take a look at Seasons, Day, Night, Versatility, and Performance, just in case you're interested in those things from an honest fragrance reviewer. Seasons, it's got some versatility to it. I would say fall, winter, and start of spring. It does have, as much as I feel like it's fresh, oud has no portion in this, but the vanilla has some density to it. So fall, start of spring, a little bit of winter. I feel like once you start getting in the nitty gritty of spring, summer, you're going to gravitate towards things that are a lot more fresher, right? Not that I compare this to an Invictus, but it is an Invictus kind of flanker. Those go a little more aquatic, which hence go a little more lighter, we'll say, a little more seasonal. This is more of an ozonic, sweet, vanillic thing. It has a little bit of mineral qualities, but honestly, I'm hard pressed to call this an aquatic sweet thing like an Invictus, right? Those are proper, we'll say that lightly, proper aquatic sweet fragrances. Day or night, I feel like this has day written all over it, but it doesn't have enough personality for a nighttime scent. Versatility, average, right? And average means you don't hardly have to think about it. That's where it's at. Performance, you're expecting pretty good performance with something that has like high octane sweetness like this. Unfortunately for longevity, it was only 5 to 7 hours. It wasn't really that great. It's still very solid. And again, I'm very, I'm very much the same guy, right? If I like a fragrance to I don't like a fragrance, I will give you longevity, 5 to 7. What do I say? Every single video that has 5 to 7, I say it's decent. However, I'm looking for 7 to 9. In designer fragrances that have a little bit of a backbone to them, right? My fall, winter, start of spring type of scents, I'm looking for a little bit more. Average projection. This is not a beast. It will project well in the first 60 minutes, as a lot of designer fragrances do. They just come out the gate swinging, but it's what's going to happen after that. Very average projection. So my final thoughts here, and this video is probably a lot longer than it really should be for a very simplistic scent. My final thoughts are, because you see marine notes and you see mineral notes, you're going to start thinking aquatic or summer flanker. But it's so dosed with that vanillic sweetness that I can't really think of this in that manner, that way. Yet again, the oud is a non-factor. It's not there. As for this new release, it's redundant. It's no good. This is a run-of-the-mill. This was compared to Oud Mineral from Tom Ford in some spaces. What? Stop it. Where's that meme from Michael Jordan that says, no, please stop it? That's what we need to tell you. It does not. It really does not. Now, it reminds me of Invictus. Insert flanker name here. That's it. Not worth retail. Not worth discounted prices either. Not worth waiting for the discounters to get it. Not new. Huge pass. And there's a reason why there's no robots here. It's very empty here, and I own a lot of Rabannes. Where are they? They're down here. Like, I started collecting some Invictuses. 1 million I'm okay with. And it's flankers. I got quite a few of them. But this line, I don't know. This one I can't. So if I had to give it a score, and like I said, right, we're keeping tabs in 2025 of who's going to get the lowest score. And I'm not a huge giver of 10s and 0s. I'm not. The reason why is 10s they're given on the channel, Like some people don't do that because they always say there's room for improvement, right? This whole Dave Portnoy thing that he says, right? That 10, I'll never give out a 10. I'll give out 10s. That doesn't mean that there's not other 10s. This is not just there's just one. But they're really hard to come by on the channel. They are, and I do a lot of unboxings and I smell a lot of stuff. 10s are hard to come by. Zeros are also hard to come by because there is some value there to some consumers, right? I'm always thinking about the little guy, the little teenager that is getting his first bottle of fragrance and it's Phantom Elixir, but his mother bought him, so it's not, bless his heart, right? Just starting into the game, excited. If you like this and you're watching me, you're probably not going to subscribe because you're probably 14, but to give it a score, I'm giving it a 3. And that is by far the lowest score in 2025, for sure, out of all the fragrances I've reviewed in the past couple months. And that is going to be a hard score to beat because I don't really give out 0s and 1s and 2s, 3s. I give out 4s once in a while and 5s once in a while. 3s are really rare as well. You have to really show me you got, and exactly, there's no breakdown. You could forget the mineral note, you could forget the aquatic note, the marine note, you could forget the oud. So all you're left with is the vanilla fog. It's kind of like Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrances now, that there's no development, there's nothing. Like we're just basically almost going into the vanilla territory and that's it. That's all you're going to be getting. And they're going to call that a fragrance. I don't know. And not a good one either. So 3 out of 10. Now that you're my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. And again, negative fragrance reviews will bring in these kind of fragrance reviews of popular designer fragrances. I'm going to get a lot of hate because a lot of new people are going to come in. So, right. And I leave those up unless you're attacking me personally. No, if you're new to the channel and you're just going to say, oh, I'm not going to subscribe to this guy, you don't even have to waste your time typing that. Just don't. Just leave. I really don't care. However, because I'm not here for those kind of reasons. Second of all, there's going to be the robes away people are going to be like, get him, Mark. Get him. But I'm going to leave all the comments. Like if you really do enjoy this fragrance and you see some things that I don't see, I'll leave that comment up. I want people to view those and see that there's another side to the coin. Because again, it's not fact, it's my opinion. And as always, a great report fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.